I hate New Year's resolutions. I know what you're thinking. Why? Why do you hate New Year's resolutions? Everyone does them. It's like meant to be like a motivator for going into the new year. It's meant to be goals that you want to make for the new year. I hate New Year's resolutions because they're so temporary. You know, I think it's good to have goals going into the new year. It's good to have things that you want to focus on, things that you want to accomplish, achieve. That's great. But what I think would be more productive for everyone as a whole is to acquire skills or a way of thinking that is permanent for every year, not just something you want to do this year, something that you want to start doing and continue on every single year. And I just feel like most people's New Year's resolutions don't do that. That's why I want to come to you guys and bring you 4 tips that I want you guys to bring with you to the new year. And these tips are going to be something that you should carry with you for your life, not just for the new year. But if you haven't started doing any of those things now, here you go. Okay, so the first tip I have that I want you to start doing, starting 2023 and thereafter, feed your spirit. Okay, I know probably not everyone who watches me is a Christian, but or spiritual in any sense, but if you are, I want to tell you and recommend for you guys to feed your spirit. I think sometimes we get so caught up with, resolutions and goals that we set for ourselves that are just so temporary, but so important, and it's a lot of pressure. And I think that we kind of forget to accomplish things that are lifelong. And one of the things I want you guys to do is to feed your spirit. Spend time with God or whatever thing you believe in that makes your spirit feel whole, that makes your spirit feel good. Everyone needs to do that more. Just focus on their inner person, their subconscious, put positive things into that. Spend time with something that makes your spirit feel good, not just your physical body, but your spirit. And I feel like if more people would do that, they'd go through the years more gracefully if they actually give attention to their spirit. My next tip for you guys to start doing in the new year is to do what you want to do, not what you're expected to do. We live in a time where we see everyone post about their life, what they're doing, their accomplishments and things. We live in a great big age of social media, and there's a lot of pressure to do certain things. No matter what it is, it just depends if whether you're a man or a woman, how old you are, what you do for a living. There's so many expectations put onto us that I feel like we as a whole are too busy trying to conform. Sorry. We're too busy trying to conform to those expectations, and we forget totally what we want to do personally, not what the world expects us to do. You're not going to be happy constantly doing what the world says you should be doing. And, that's something that I feel like is pressured on a lot of young people. We have all these expectations, things that we need to accomplish based off of what the older generations tells us and what our generation is doing. We just feel so pressured to do things that aren't even what we naturally desire doing. And I feel like that kind of goes into feeding your spirit. Whatever you want to do on the inside, whatever your heart tells you to do it more. Use logic while you're doing it, yes, but do that more. Stop focusing on what the world tells you should be doing. You have one life to live, and you should spend it doing whatever it is you want to do, no matter what it is. As long as you're not harming other people or harming yourself, do what you want to do with your life. Because when you die, what job you have, how old you are, none of those things matter. How much money you have, none of those things matter when you die. What matters is what you did while you were alive. And I just feel like life is so short. And I don't want to sound like an old person, but life is really short. It's not even about dying. It can be something that happens to you that prevents you from doing goals that you had for yourself, and you just never know. So really spend the time that you have doing what you want. Okay. This next one, this is a big one. This is such a big one for me, and I just really want you guys to really take this in. Do not be afraid to hurt, to feel hurt, and embrace everything in this coming year and the years after that. Embrace everything. Pain is something that's inevitable. It's going to happen. I feel like a lot of people go into the new year with these resolutions and these kind of unrealistic expectations to always, they tell themselves 2023 I'm going to have constant success, constant happiness. I'm not going to let anyone ruin my peace. I'm not going to, experience heartbreak. That's bullshit. Sorry. Things are going to happen. You're going to experience pain. You're going to experience hurt. You're going to experience failure. And I feel like when people do the resolutions the traditional way, they don't allow space for things to go wrong. And so the year is not even halfway done yet, and you've already given up on the rest of your resolutions because one of them didn't go the right way, and you just ruined it for yourself. I always see on social media, especially Facebook, a lot of people are talking about, in 2023, I'm becoming a new person, I'm making new friends, I'm gonna do so many great things. And it's like, of course you should tell yourself that. Of course that should be a goal, to do great things. But I don't ever see anyone say, in 2023, I'm going to embrace what life throws at me. Because as much as we have our own plans, God or the world or whatever you believe in, they have different plans. It's not going to always go the way you want to go. Most of the time, it's not going to go anywhere near what you planned. And I feel like if we learn to embrace those things, life will be a lot easier. I just want to circle back to me saying that pain is inevitable. And I feel like it's not the ideal. It's not an ideal emotion. It's not an ideal feeling or experience. No one wants to hurt. No one wants to fail. No one wants to be heartbroken. But these are things that you need to expect to happen to you. And you need, going back to feeding your spirit, once you feed your spirit, you'll be able to handle these type of situations, these unideal and unfortunate situations a lot better if you spend time with yourself. Spend time with yourself, Go into the new year and the years after that expecting hurt, expecting pain, expecting failure, but also preparing yourself to prevail over that. Prevail over the pain that you're going to feel, the failure that you're going to have. It's what you do to overcome failure. That's what's important, is how you handle being knocked down and, all of those negative things. That's the most important part. My last and final point is to leave room for God. This is specifically going to be geared towards, whoever's watching that's a Christian. Leave room for God. Like I said, again, with our resolutions that people make traditionally, they hardly leave no room for Jesus, no room for God to work his magic, no room for him to come in and shepherd you into whatever he wants you to have. You need to leave space for Jesus. What I think would be a helpful thing, if you are someone who does resolutions, I'm sorry for crapping on resolutions. If you do that and it works for you, then please do it. But I'm just saying, don't do them the traditional way. But anyways, if you're someone who does, resolutions, look at your list and in every single plan, rewrite it to include God somewhere in it. Something that I've seen someone talk about in the way that God works is we always ask God for things, for him to give us things, put things into our life, but we never ask him to shepherd us into things. And I think that really changed my perspective about whenever I ask God for something. We just expect him to just snap his fingers and it's right there in front of us instead of asking him to shepherd us into things. And that's what I think people mean when they say faith without works is dead, because the work is you going towards God's blessing for you, and you're asking him, Jesus, can you shepherd me into a new job, into health, into all of these things. You're gonna ask God to open the door for you or put the door there, and you have to do the work to go through it. And I think that's what people mean when they say that. Christians, especially me, trust me especially, I have all these plans for myself, and I oftentimes forget to include God, the person who makes all these plans be fruitful over everything that you have hoping coming for next year and the years after that, of everything. Ask God for an agreeable spirit. And when I say an agreeable spirit in this context, what I'm saying is ask God to soften your heart and open your mind to his plans for you and not your plans for yourself. Have expectations for yourself to be a better person, but include God in that so that it can actually make some sense. And when you include God into your plans, typically that means you already have an understanding of God works. So these plans will not make or break you. And you will understand that God might have some totally different plans for you. And the goal that you want to have is to be okay with his plans and trust in him and trust that his plans are much better than yours. much better than yours. Okay, this was a kind of a quick video, but it needed to be. So I just want to say Happy New Year's to you guys. I hope and I pray that you learn something this coming year and that you carry it with you your whole life. And I pray that everyone can experience something life-changing and trust in God more. So yes, God bless you. I love you. Y'all have a good day.